Hello everyone. I hope I'm audible loud and clear. Hello everyone. I hope I'm audible loud and clear. Awesome.
Yeah, that's your.
Yes, sir.
Just give us 2-3 minutes and we'll start.
Okay, sir.
I'm just waiting for a few people. So they are joining. Just give us 2-3 minutes and then we'll start.
Okay, sir.
Hello everyone. So let's get started. So I guess this is the second demo, right, that we are presenting. So first of all, thank you so much for joining the session. So now in this session, I'm going to explain about some of the term about the virtualization. So folks, in last week, okay, I mean to say in last session, we discussed about the cloud. Let me open my deck. Just give me a second. So in last session, if you remember, then we discuss about what exactly this cloud computing is, because this AWS is what it's a product, right? So it completely based on the cloud computing. So first we need to understand what exactly this cloud computing is. So we discussed that what exactly the cloud computing is. And if you remember, I also give you one example about the use case, that is a Flipkart. Anyone remember, folks? I hope you have joined the last time as well. Anyone remember, folks? Yes, no? So we have more than, I guess, 23, 4 people. I got a 6 reply. Okay, first time join. Last session. Okay, no problem. So, may I know from all these 26 people, so this is your first session or the second session? Can you please type? If you are joining this first session, you can just type first. If it is second, you can just mention second. That will help me. Other folks, request all the member to please reply. Okay, so almost everyone is saying this is a first, and I can see one member is also second. Awesome, no problem. Okay, I'll also repeat few of the term, and then I'll also explain you some of the term for the virtualization. So thank you everyone for the reply. So let me start with my introduction first, because only 2 people joined the second time. Just give me 1 second. So folks, let me give you my sure, Sani. So meanwhile, I'll just complete my introduction and then we'll start actually. I just need a 2 minutes to introduction. So everyone, my name is Amir Vaidya. So basically, I'm born and brought up in Nashik, and you can say currently I'm earning in Pune. So I'm a working professional and also a freelancer technical trainer as well. Currently, I'm having more than 16 years of experience in the industries. So when I say 16 years, it means I started my job as a tech support. I don't have any kind of background like the development and all. No, I'm pure from the IT background, IT, or you can say the infrastructure and security background. So my first job is the Quick Heal. Quick Heal, you might aware about this antivirus. So after working with a few hours as in tech support, I got an opportunity to work as a technical trainer. So I travel a lot, right, entire India and some overseas country to train my partners, customers only in the enterprise segments. Then also, after working with many years, I'll also switch my role. Again, Q come to the picture in my life, but this time Q is much bigger because I joined Collis. Collis is known for the vulnerability manager, policy compliances, clouds, and everything. So 8 9 year back, I came to know about this cloud. And when I saw this product, I completely it's like an love at first sight for me because it has a different feature which solve most of the issues in our on-premises environment. So, so I started work learning this product, okay, the specifically first AWS. So currently I have almost seven certification because recently, day before yesterday, I also completed another certification. So currently I'm having a seven certification with AWS, two with the Azure. I also recently completed two certification in GCP as well because my job role currently is completely on the cloud side. When you talk about the Amazon AWS, Azure, Microsoft Azure, Google Cloud, that is GCP, Oracle, and some of them because also okay help in China customer as well. So they are also using the Alibaba. So I'm a completely, you can say, multi-cloud specialist where I'm delivering the solutions. Okay, so my job is to plan, manage, right, and obviously scale. And I'm also do a lot of activities as well. So I'm also managing the AWS user group for Pune because AWS started right user groups in entire world. So fortunately, I got a chance to manage the AWS right here for the Pune. So we conduct a lot of meetup every month. Okay, in Pune itself, and I'm also a speaker as well. So I travel a lot, right? You can so and I'll also talk on the different technologies on AWS, Google, Azure. So my talk is depend upon the security, AI, ML, infrastructure. Okay, these are my some of the topic as well. And whenever I free, right, you will also find me somewhere in the nature because I feel that I also required some healing time. I also required some meditation as well. So for me, my meditation is my biking. That is also my passion. So whenever I have a time, okay, I'll start my bike and you will find me somewhere in the nature as well. And if you want me to connect, you can connect me on the LinkedIn as well, right? So I post a lot of things about AWS and everything. Okay, so if you want, you can also connect me over the LinkedIn as well. Okay, that's my just a small info about me. So now here we join here to understand what exactly the AWS. That's an Amazon Web Services. But before you understand what exactly this AWS is, you also need to understand what exactly the cloud is. So if I ask you everyone, right? If I ask you, what do you think what is a cloud computing for you or what is a cloud for you in any one liner? No matter whether it's a technical answer or non-technical, anything. What do you think? What is a cloud for you? Anything, folks. Anything. Whatever you feel, folks. What do you think? What is a cloud for you? In one liner. In one liner, what do you think? What is a cloud for you? Sheikh said that AWS is a cloud platform that provides scalable compute, storage, database, and other service on a pay-as-you-go basis. Awesome. What do you think? What is a cloud for you? One liner. Anything, folks. No matter whether it is technical, non-technical, anything. What do you
It's
think?
a global network of remote server.
Okay, Devang. Okay, very good. Any other folks? Any other folks? What do you think? What is a cloud for you? Service access through web. Okay. Okay. Anyone, folks? What do you think? What is a cloud for you? So if you ask me, Amir, what is a cloud for you? So I'll say that anything which you can access via intranet or internet is nothing but a cloud for me. For an example, let's say you create some website, right? Let's say mysongs.com. So you deploy the website on your laptop. and it is available over the internet connection. So for example, if I open the let's say mysongs.com and I download the songs, for me it is a cloud, but for you, where you deploy it, for you it is a on premises. So if you see that, when I say the cloud, it means what? It is a on demand delivery of a compute power, database, storage application, or any IT resources that you can access via internet, and that is also pay as you go. It means whatever you consume, you just need to pay accordingly. And obviously, as I said, that these resources run on a server computers which is located in a large data center, and that is also in a different location around the world. So whenever you use a cloud service provider like an AWS, so that service provide own computers that they are using, and these resources can be used together like in building blocks to build a solution which help to meet the business goal, and obviously they satisfy technology requirement. So you can think, so cloud computing enable you to stop thinking of your infrastructure as a hardware. So you can say, instead of think, it's a software. So now what exactly it means when I say you can think it? Now let me ask you a very simple question to everyone. Now if you see that this is your Ola and Uber and this is your personal car. Now if I ask you that, okay, what do you think, what benefits you will get if you are using Ola and Uber instead of your personal car?
Personal car, we have to pay the money. We have to pay the money, maybe much more. But Ola and this one is the we can go through some maybe reliable prices, right?
It's a pay as you go services, Ola,
Yes, yes, yes.
right? So it means if you just travel 10 kilometer, then you just need to pay the 10-kilometer charges. But in case, let's say, if you purchase, right, the car, then obviously you need to pay the entire cost, right? So what exactly this Ola and Uber? It's a pay as you go services, as you rightly say. What else, folks?
Um, can you hear me?
Yes, yes,
Hello? Okay. I I think it also gives you the freedom to do what you want, to go where you want to go, without worrying about the maintenance of the car, the
exactly,
fuel being efficient, any parts falling apart or getting stuck on the way. So you get to move or do anything from point A to B without worrying about, I guess, I don't know, the physical aspects of the car, but you can still get
exactly,
from point A to B, and you pay
exactly,
for it as a service.
exactly. So as you mentioned
Okay.
correctly, that no maintenance, right? So for an example, you're traveling somewhere and your tire got puncture. So then obviously your Ola and Uber never ask you that, okay, pay me the $50 more. No, it's their responsibility. But in case of our own personal car, then obviously it's our own responsibility. So as you said, the maintenance is obviously, if you are using the personal car, then it's our my responsibility. In case of it's an Ola and Uber, it's their responsibility. It is an pay as you go services. Correct. What else, folks? What do you think? What else, folks? Correct, Pratik. What else, folks? So, for example, in the big cities, the main headache is parking. So, in case if you are using the Ola and Uber, we don't need to worry about the parking space, right? But in case of our own vehicle, we all need to worry about the parking space. And when I say parking, it means we also worried about our security of the vehicle, right? But in case of Ola Uber, that is their responsibility. Another thing is that whenever you want, you can upgrade it, and whenever you want, you can degrade it as well. Now, what exactly it means? It means, let's say today you are traveling, okay, to somewhere, and you are just a single person. So what we can do, we can book the small car, right? Because to save the cost, and that is sufficient for for our use case. But what will happen if you are going more than our family member, 4, 5, 6 member? Then we can immediately book the higher car, and we just need to pay accordingly only. And day after tomorrow, if you are again traveling somewhere with a single person, you can also book the mini version of car. It means this Ola and Uber gave us the platform from where we can upgrade it and where we can degrade it with only pay as you go services. Now, why I'm praising this Ola and Uber in middle of session? The reason is that you can think this Ola and Uber is nothing but a cloud, and this car, your personal car, is nothing but your on-premises infrastructure. Make sense, folks?
Yes, Amaya.
So now, folks, this is what I'm trying to say here. All right. So in if you have your on-premises traditional computing model. So in last time I explained one use case. Now what exactly it is? That is in the big billion day of the Flipkart. So if you remember the Flipkart big billion day, the first big billion day, then what happened? The website crashed within a 2 or 3 minute. Anyone remember that scenario? In the very first big billion day, the Flipkart website crashed within a 2 or 3 minutes. I hope you remember. Yes, no, folks?
Yes.
Right? So now what happened exactly? Their entire infrastructure is on premises. Now the website is fine for the entire year, and now they plan for the big billion day. That is nothing but a copy of the Black Friday. So for India specifically, this culture is completely new. And now what happened? Everyone is trying to access the Flipkart website. And now what happened? The result is server crash. Now why? Because their on-premises server is not that much compatible to handle the request. Because the load is almost 20, 30 times. So what we can do, so the team say that, okay, Flipkart team say that what we can do is we can also upgrade the hardware. And what we can do, we can purchase exactly the same hardware. But folks, if you remember that, as I say, the entire year the website is working fine. They only need additional compute system whenever they have a huge load. So if I purchase the new hardware, then my ROI, that is my return on investment, and the resource utilization of the new hardware hardly 4 or 5%. Because why? The entire year my hardware is enough capable to handle the request. So now what exactly the solution? So solution here is using the cloud computing model. So what we can do is they can they can just go to the AWS and they can just launch the virtualization, and they can easily deploy their payment gateway. They can also deploy the website content, website application, the database as well, right? They can deploy it quickly, and using the load balancer they can manage the traffic. And in case if there is a huge traffic, AWS can upgrade themselves whenever they require. And in case of very low traffic, AWS can degrade themselves as well using the auto scaling. And the big thing is that here customer has to only pay whatever they consume. And because of this flexibility, most of the organization they are already moving to the cloud, and some of them they are already planning to move to the cloud. Right? I hope you understand why we require cloud. Am I correct, everyone? So first, why it's clear, I hope. Am I right?
Yes.
Other member, come on, let me reply. Do not just keep on mute. Let's have some interaction as well. I hope you understand why, right? Because once the why is clear, the rest of the thing is very easy to understand. Now here, okay, what exactly I want to show you is about the same thing, EC2. Now, what exactly my plan to showcase you about the one of the most centralized tool in an entire cloud computing. That is the virtualization. When I say virtualization, it means that's a virtual machine. So in AWS, this is called as an elastic compute cloud. That's your EC2. In Azure and in GCP, that is Google Cloud Platform. So in Azure, right, it is called the virtual machine. It's called VM. And in GCP, it's also called compute engine. This one, right? So
It's
these
the
are the
same
things.
like a OCI compute, right?
Yes, correct.
Okay.
Okay. So now what exactly we are doing now, I'm going to show you very quickly how exactly we can launch a Linux machine using this EC2 and how quickly we can deploy one small web server here, right? And that is also within a few seconds only. That's the reason I'll say that this is a still most centralized component of entire computing. So I'm just going to launch this virtual machine, okay, called EC2. EC2, it means what? Elastic Compute Cloud. Now you can think that, okay, what exactly it is? This is nothing but I'm going to create some website for my personal use or anything. So I'm just giving a name that this virtual machine EC2 instance called web server. This is just a name. You can also add some more tags. What is the department? What is the projects, etc., etc. That also you can do that. Now here you can see what type of operating system that you want to choose. When I say operating system, here it called AMI. That is called Amazon Machine Image. So you can launch like in okay, the Amazon Linux as well, Mac OS as well, even though Red Hat, SUSE, Ubuntu, Microsoft. You can launch okay all the any type of right any type of machine that you can launch. And now, folks, what I'm going to do now, I'm just going to launch this first virtual machine, the AMI. AMI, it means what? Templates. Now, if you see that there are some templates which has only proper operating system, only clean. There are some operating system, for an example, you can see there are some operating system where you can see the SQL is already pre-loaded. You don't need to deploy it as well. So I just required the plain operating system. That's my Amazon Linux. Now we just gave a name that, okay, what exactly the name of your OS that you are going to launch. Then second, here you can see what type of operating system you want. And now here you can see what type of hardware that you require. Now let's say whenever you okay go for buy a laptop, you go to some laptop store and okay the salesperson greet you and say that okay what is your requirement. Now why they ask the question? Because based on the requirement they can show you a perfect laptop which is fit for your use case. Now if you say that okay I want a laptop which is a gaming purpose, I'm a gamer, I want to play a very high graphics game, obviously They can't show you that, okay, go with the Lightbook or Lenovo notebook. No, you required a laptop which has a some let's say some graphics card related to the NVIDIA, so that you have your better gaming experience. But let's say I just want to use my laptop for the general purpose to watching video, okay, playing some small games, or let's say, okay, to store some data, photos, video. Then obviously he definitely say that, okay, you can go with the some notebook yoga or something, Lightbook, something that also you can go. It means what? Based on, right? Based on your use case, you can choose the hardware. So now here also, so now here also you can choose a different categories. So if you see, these are the general purpose, compute optimize, memory optimize, accelerate computing, storage optimize, high performance compute. What exactly it is? These are different type of categories. So let's say you have some AI related workloads, right? You can go with some accelerate computing as well, right? And in again in accelerate computing, what type of machine that you require? Whether you require some some G5, okay, VT1. And here when I say VT1, there is a specifically, right, there's a use case. So if I choose a low cost transcoding for live video streaming, you can go with the VT1. And under that VT1, you will also find there are different type of hardware that you have, right? So for example, VT1, okay, 24 extra large. It means what? You will also get some CPU, 96 virtual CPU. You will also get 192 GB of RAM. So here you will also find some of the hardware where they have a 5 terabytes of memory as well, right? So if you purchase, okay, let's say you have some projects related to the AI, you are working on some foundation model LLM which required a very high GPU. So in that case, you can use this and you can just pay whatever you consume. You don't need to buy any, entire hardware. So I'm just going for the T2 micro, which is sufficient, which has a 1 GB RAM for the demo. And now how exactly you can authenticate. When I say authenticate, it means might be this virtual machine, right? Your colleague might be going to access, and they might be sitting anywhere. So to authenticate for the password, you also require some key pair, correct? It means whenever you create a EC2 instance, you will get a public IP address and you will also get a private IP address as well. So using the public IP address, okay, your colleague, your customer can access it, but for the password authentication, they require this key pair. So quickly, I'm just going to create a key pair. Right? I'll just give the name, and here you can see these are the two pair type encryption. That is RSA, which is Ravi Shamir 11. Okay, these are the encryption, and the another one that is ED25519, which is a SSH base authentication. So for your Windows, it support RSA. Okay, but for your Linux, it also support RSA plus ED25519. And now here you can say you will also create your PEM file by using two extension. One is .pem and another one is a .ppk. Now earlier, few years back, whenever we used to launch our instance, we have only one option, that is a .pem. And we used to connect instance using the putty application. And putty application required some kind of ppk file. So we have earlier we have a converter. We convert .pem to ppk and then we access the file. So AWS solved that issue and they directly provide you the option that you can also use ppk as well. So I'm just going for a .pem and just create a key pair. Okay, are we on the same page, everyone? Any doubt? Are we on the same page, folks? Any question?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Now the next one. Here you can see there is also network setting. Now first we choose what is the name of the virtual machine. Second, we choose what is the operating system. Third, we choose what type of hardware. And now fourth one, we need to mention that okay, where exactly you are going to launch your virtual machine. It means in which network, whether this virtual machine is part of your QA network, development network, production network, or what exactly it is. So for that, the VPC come to the picture. That is called virtual private cloud. So you need to define in which network that you want to launch it, right? So in Azure, it's called also the VNet. In GCP also, it's called VPC. So you need to define that what type of network you want. So you can see I have already created some network here, right? But I'll just choose a default network which is created by the AWS. And these are some AWS data center which I discuss in the course directly. And now here you can say this is a security group. Let me draw something for you so that I can explain security group. Now, folks, let's say, okay, this is your laptop. Okay, this is just your laptop. And now, for example, you can see this laptop having some different hardware port. This is a USB port. Okay, this is a Type C port. Then let's say this is your HDMI port. Here also you have some USB port as well. Some hardware, okay, some 5.1 jack as well. Now, what exactly it is, you can see here. These are the hardware port. Now, if I say I have my pen drive, right, which is a USB pen drive, and I want to read and write the content. Obviously, I'm going to connect my pen drive to USB. It means there is a way that from where you can read and write with this specific port. Obviously, this pen drive, USB pen drive, is not compatible with the Type C or let's say HDMI. It means, okay, it means if you want to, okay, read something, write something from external devices, there is a separate way. Now, even in your application, right? So if you talk about your application port, your software port, what exactly? These are the hardware port that we discuss. But whenever you access any website, now you can say, I'm accessing this website via HTTPS port. It means whenever I access my website, my packet goes via 443 port. If it is not HTTP, then it's just port 80. If I'm accessing from Windows to Windows machine, right, it means what? I'm accessing via my RDP port, that is remote desktop protocol, which work on, okay, 3389. I'm going to access my MySQL as well. Obviously, I'm going to use 3306. I'm going to access some FTP. It is a 21. I'm going to access some Linux machine. It's a 22. It means whenever you access the machine here, it goes on a specific port here only. So if you perform any activity, it goes via a specific port only. So do you know anyone how many ports, okay, we have? Anyone, any idea? How many ports in software we have?
65,000.
So total port, it is a 65,535. In that 0 to 1024 port is used by the OS. And from 1024 to 65535 it is called the ephemeral port here. Ephemeral port, it means what? That is your temporary port. Now, why I'm giving this information in middle of the session? Now, the reason is that here you can see so if you see this security group, it's also firewall. So whenever, let's say you launch some virtual machine, right? Whenever, let's say this is your virtual machine called EC2, and whenever any user, okay, any type of user who is going to access your EC2 instance, so first here the security group come to the picture. And now here in security group, by default, all 65,535 ports is blocked by default. And you have only option to exclude this. It means whatever you allow, let's say SSH or let's say HTTP, okay, these two ports are allowed. Then this user can access this my machine only via two ports, that is the SSH and HTTP. If the user is trying to make a request for a FTP or let's say some anything, obviously this is denied here. That's the reason I'll say the security group, it means what? Everything is blocked by default, and here you have only option to exclude. So as I say that my main motto is to create some small web server, a very small web server, and you are going to access the web server. So you are going to access the web server via HTTP only. Okay, I'll say that anyone can access my web server here. Only SSH so that I can connect my virtual machine, and HTTP to access the website. So if I don't allow, then no one can access my website as well, because why? If you're trying to access my web server, obviously if I not allow the HTTP, okay, your packet is dropped here only. That's the security which AWS provide here. It's called security group. This is your hard disk. We call that EBS, elastic block storage. Okay, there is also different option, and these are some advanced details as well. A different details, whether you what exactly the roles and everything, which we'll discuss on the in detail session as well. And now, what my plan is? My plan is to create some web server. Now, this is a Linux machine, so obviously I need to deploy the uh, Apache here. In case of it is Windows, then obviously I'm going to deploy the IIS because it's in Linux website. So first what I need to do is, once I launch my virtual machine, first I need to access my virtual machine. Then I'm going to deploy the web server, then creating some small web server, and then it's live. So instead of this, right, what I can do is I can use a script. So I can simply use this specific script. So this is a bash script which I'm using. First, I'm going to update my operating system, and then I'm just going to install the Apache. Yum space installed HTTPD, it means Apache. I'm going to install. And then I'm going to start the service of the Apache. And I'll also make sure that even though if it is if I restart my machine or something, I don't need to start my service again. So I always mention that okay, this service must be on. And then I'll just go to the some some HTML folder, and I'll just create that this is the Learnomet, okay, production server. I just create a one small page. I close the header, close the HTML, and I'll just save it into my index.html. That's it. And I'll just mention, okay, here only, that's it, nothing else. right? And now my virtual machine Linux is set up, and we are just going to launch the instance. That's it. Let's wait for the few seconds. And now you can see my web server is launched, and AWS also provide this instance ID. AWS also provide my public IP address and private IP address as well. Obviously, our website is not a HTTPS because it required the SSL certificate. Our website is a HTTP. And you can see my website is ready in few minutes. Are you able to access my web server, everyone? Everyone, can you try to access my web server?
Could you please share me the link once again, Amit?
Yeah, sure. Right? Is it accessible? Am I correct, everyone? Can I expect your reply? Yes, no?
Yes, sir.
Right? So it means within a few seconds, okay, we are going to launch this and we can simply connect our virtual machine as well. So let me connect. And now you can see I have connect my virtual machine as well. Right? And you can start working on it. And what exactly it is? It is a completely pay as you go services. And whenever you don't require it, you have finished the work, either you can stop the virtual machine so that there is a no billing, or if you want to format, you can simply terminate. That's it. And once we terminate, right, your website and everything is gone because we format it. Clear, folks? This is just a one service. In AWS, you can see there are thousands of services here. Any question, folks? We still have a 5-7 minutes in hand. If you have any question, please feel free to ask. Any question, folks? I'm open for the question. In case if you have a question, please feel free to ask. So Devang, as you said, you asked me the question in the starting, what is the duration of the course and what exactly the fee? So I'm not aware about the fee. You can contact the number. Okay, but the duration of the course is minimum 50 plus hours, 50 to 60 hours, I can say. So daily, at least daily or weekly. Okay, we have at least minimum 2 hours of session. So it goes around 2 months. And are we covering any database migration practice? So yes, we have a DMS service in the course as well. That is called DMS, Database Migration Services, and SCT, that is called Schema Conversion Tool. I hope you got the answer, Devang.
Yes, yes.
Okay, great then. If you have any question, please feel free to ask. Okay, we have a number as well. Okay, so in case any information, any doubt or anything, you can feel free to contact on the mentioned number. Okay, so that's my time, folks. Thank you so much for joining the session. I hope you enjoy. Right, let's meet again in next. Thank you so much. Bye bye. Have a great day ahead. Thank you so much.